Hello folks, welcome to a brand new video. It's all about Elon Musk, childhood, career and scandals. As required a lot, today, in the video, we're gonna talk about one of the most famous billionaires in the world. When mentioning Tesla, PayPal, and SpaceX, you must have a clue to think of today's character, right? Yeah, you're right, his name is Elon Musk. So, have you been into the video? Okay, let's go. For anyone who doesn't know who Elon Musk is, here is a piece of his background. Back in time to his childhood, Musk is a South African native who was born in 1971 to divorced parents. His father worked as an engineer, while his mother, who was born in Canada, worked as a nutritionist. In his teen years, Musk was captivated with science fiction and computing. He built the coding for his own video game when he was 12 and sold it to a corporation. He emigrated to Canada in his late teens to escape serving in the South African military, which was mandatory for white males. It was still the apartheid era in South Africa when the country's majority black native people were denied political and economic rights. Musk had no desire to serve in the army, which was at the time fighting to suppress a black nationalist movement. He was able to enroll at Queen's University in Kingston, one of Ontario's best institutions, because of his mother's Canadian connections. Musk had intended to pursue a career in business, and as a college intern, he worked at a Canadian bank. Before becoming an internet entrepreneur, this was his sole actual employment. He switched to the University of Pennsylvania midway through his undergraduate studies, earning a bachelor's degree in economics and a second bachelor's degree in physics a year later. Following that, he was accepted into Stanford University's elite doctoral program, where he planned to pursue a PhD in energy physics. In 1995, he relocated to California just as the internet boom was kicking off, and he decided he wanted to be a part of it. He dropped out of Stanford after only 2 days to launch Zip2 Corporation, his first startup. This was an online city guide geared at the newspaper publishing industry, and Musk was able to get contracts to produce material for both the New York Times and the Chicago Tribune's new online sites. Musk founded the firm when he was just 24 years old, and he put his entire heart and soul into making it a success. At one point, failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. In an interview with Roger Eglin of the Sunday Times of London, he said that he lived in the same rented office that functioned as his company's headquarters, sleeping on a futon couch and bathing at the local YMCA, which was cheaper than renting an apartment. Despite this, the firm failed to meet its commitments, pay its employees, and cover other expenses, so he decided to seek outside funding. Zip2 was eventually funded with $3.6 million from a group of venture capitalists, investors who contribute startup financing to new firms, but he ended up controlling control of the firm in exchange. Careerhood. A series of failures and success, and I'm gonna tell you lessons from those. We all know Elon Musk is a genius who has come up with more fantastic ideas than most people can recall. Musk noted in a recent interview with Joe Rogan that this is practically a curse in the sense that he has so many valuable ideas that he finds it difficult to focus on just one project. It may seem that whichever plan Elon Musk executes will be a success. With a net worth of $151 billion, he is a successful entrepreneur, innovator, and one of the world's wealthiest individuals. Tesla has soared throughout the COVID-19 epidemic, putting him in the top 10 wealthiest persons on the planet. However, we are aware that the South African businessman has failed several times, with many of these failures involving very contentious situations. Elon Musk, on the other hand, constantly seems to conquer in the face of adversity and against all odds. As a result, I wanted to discuss these failures and show how Elon continually overcomes the most catastrophic blows and leverages these lessons to propel his businesses to even greater heights. Here are the failures of Elon Musk and how he overcame them. Number 1. Rejection from Netscape and ousted at Zip2. Elon tried unsuccessfully to work for a number of young internet businesses, including Netscape, when he initially began out. In response to these rejections, he created Zip2, a searchable company directory that was simply an online telephone book. It may appear to be a basic concept now, but it was groundbreaking at a time when computer usage was still in its infancy. Unfortunately, Zip2 struggled in its early years, and most investors were skeptical of the concept. Musk later built the code for a mapping project that allowed him to merge the two concepts. To save money, the company's employees resided on site. Anyway, Zip2 ultimately obtained some much-needed funding in 1996, but Elon Musk was surprisingly fired as CEO and given a much lower position. He did, however, assist in the removal of a subsequent CEO, Richard Sorkin, when he did not agree with his company's vision or principles. After achieving substantial success, the entrepreneur decided to go on to a brand new concept that would eventually become PayPal. So, what startups and entrepreneurs can learn from this failure? Despite the setbacks, Elon Musk has stayed steadfast throughout his career. When faced with challenges, he never gave up and always stuck to his principles or, at the very least, established his own enterprises. In any case, Elon Musk's tenacity and unshakable faith are a big part of why he's still so successful today. Number 2. What if PayPal was initially voted the worst business concept of the year? Believe it or not, when it was introduced as security software for the Palm Pilot and other portable devices in 1999, it was rated the worst business idea of the year. Musk and co-founder Max Levchin, on the other hand, began to focus on developing an online wallet, which continued to gather traction. In fact, when consumers began emailing the firm, it became evident that the wallet was being used to assist eBay auctions, so they scrapped the original concept and went with an electronic wallet instead. PayPal eventually received money to further develop this concept, and the firm went public in 2002. Again, what startups and entrepreneurs can learn from this failure? The majority of businesses fail because they fail to understand their target market's pain issue. To put it another way, they pursue ideas and notions that were bound to fail from the start. Elon Musk has always made required adjustments and strived to produce a product that offers a clear solution to the end customer. Of course, that seems simple, but far too many entrepreneurs let their infatuation with a certain product concept to blind them to the realities of the industry. Number 3. Do you know Tesla was failing hard before it became profitable? When Tesla initially appeared on the scene, many experts in the car business were outspoken in their hatred for the company. The electric automobile, according to these folks, was a non-starter doomed to fail. In 2008, it appeared that these forecasts would come true, as Tesla was on the verge of bankruptcy owing to a lack of funds. At the time, Musk was in the middle of building the Model S. Surprisingly, he chose to declare bankruptcy and utilize his own assets to keep the firm afloat. This fortune was made up of the proceeds, $35 million, from the sale of PayPal. Elon was declared broke just 2 years later. Fortunately, the entrepreneur was able to survive thanks to personal loans from friends. Tesla became uber profitable in a short time. Musk and his team worked incredibly long days and slept on the production floor during this period. Now, what startups and entrepreneurs can learn from this failure? Tesla is currently one of the most successful electric vehicle manufacturers, but none of this would be possible without Musk's unwavering determination. Furthermore, it was his belief that made this possible in the first place, implying that pursuing a personal passion is likely the most powerful driving force a company can have. Number 4. It's sad to say, but everyone expected SpaceX to fail. It took SpaceX 16 months to establish that landing a rocket on one of the recovery drone ships was doable. True, the initial effort was a success, with the rocket's precision surprising most experts, but development was gradual, and many questioned the company's credibility. However, in mid-2016, SpaceX succeeded in landing 3 of these rockets in a row, but catastrophe followed later that year when they attempted to repeat the feat 4 times instead of 3. It was a huge setback for Musk and SpaceX, with the media treating the issue with zeal. While it was assumed that SpaceX would take a step back, Musk maintained that they must press forward and make effective use of the critical data collected during the mishap. He also remarked in a recent interview that space exploration is a highly risky enterprise, and that those engaged already know that sending humans to Mars would always be accompanied by catastrophic hazards. Here, what startups and entrepreneurs can learn from this failure? Elon Musk is a maverick and nonconformist, as seen by his massive failure at SpaceX. In other words, he takes a stance on his own, separate from his colleagues, and employs free thinking to get the desired objectives. You're probably wondering about his private issues and how he got over it. But I have a later part to talk more about them. Wait to see. To say a word, Elon Musk is not just a genius, but also an immensely determined personality with a burning drive to achieve, despite his numerous failures. Despite the fact that Tesla and SpaceX appear to have a bright future ahead of them, we just cannot predict or imagine what the South African may achieve next. And, how rich is Elon Musk? Elon Musk's declaration as to the world's richest man on January 7, 2020, will go down in history. He accomplished this accomplishment by surpassing Amazon's Jeff Bezos. Tesla's stock rose 4.8% on Thursday, January 7 night, according to Bloomberg Business Index. With the success of Tesla and the launch of SpaceX, Musk has had a game-changing decade. According to CNBC, the multi-billionaire has an enormous and ever-changing real estate portfolio. Take a peek at his luxurious and fancy lifestyle. Let's go to see massive mansions, private jets, and James Bond cars inside Elon Musk's extravagant lifestyle. According to Business Insider, Elon Musk divorced his first wife in 2008, putting a strain on his finances. Tesla's IPO on the public market in 2012 increased Musk's riches and transformed his fortune after years of surviving on loans. Here's a look at what the world's wealthiest man has amassed. A fondness for automobiles is only natural for a man whose principal industry is the manufacture of futuristic automobiles. Elon Musk's car collection. A Jaguar 1967 E-Type. His magnificent garage received its first amazing automobile in the shape of a Jaguar 1967 E-Type, in addition to driving a variety of Teslas. Musk owns a book of antique convertibles, according to a Forbes video, and has had his eye on the Jaguar since. However, that was not the finest situation for him. That one was like a bad girlfriend. It kept breaking down on me and causing me all sorts of trouble, Musk said. A McLaren F1. When you mention Musk's McLaren, the tale that usually comes out is about how he crashed it. The specifics may be seen in the video shown above. According to Business Insider, Elon Musk purchased the automobile for about $1 million when he sold PayPal. His everyday cars. Apart from the high-end vehicles, Musk also owns a few common vehicles. In his garage, he has an Audi Q7, a Porsche 911, and a BMW M5 sports vehicle. Such daily life cars. The James Bond car. Musk said in a tweet a few months before the introduction of Tesla's Cybertruck that the design was inspired by the submarine automobile from The Spy Who Loved Me. Musk also owns the Lotus Esprit underwater vehicle seen in the film, which he purchased for $920,000 at an auction, approximately 6.5 crore rupees. And about the Elon Musk's mansions. Elon Musk's real estate portfolio is a work in progress. According to Fox Business, the world's richest man, who was previously reported as stating he has no residence, just sold 3 more mansions in California for $41 million. Bel Air Mansions in LA. According to Business Insider, Elon Musk has 4 Bel Air residences in Los Angeles that are worth a total of $70 million. In 2012, the first of which was registered in his name. His second acquisition was a $17 million home with 20,428 square feet. Among the features were a gym, 7 bedrooms, high ceilings, a wine cellar, and a swimming pool. Musk then purchased a ranch house from Gene Wilder and utilized it as a private school for his children. He told Vogue in an interview that, like a little schoolhouse on the prairie, except in Bel Air on a golf course. Surprisingly, his buying binge in the Bel Air house didn't finish there. According to Variety, he purchased 2 more mansions, one under construction for $24.25 million and a $3.7 million boomerang-shaped property. Musk, for example, does not own any registered homes near his business in Fremont, California, which leads us to the second point, his luxurious fleet. Elon Musk's private jets. Musk claimed to have slept on the floor of his factory's conference room or on the couch on busy days. On most other occasions, though, he chooses to return home on one of his own jets. Gulfstream G550 and G650. The billionaire owns 2 Gulfstream private planes, which are registered at Falcon Landing, a SpaceX and Tesla-affiliated LLC. The Gulfstream G550 is the newest addition to his fleet, with seating for 17 people but a sleeping layout. The other, a G650, is larger and has more miles because it is his favored mode of transportation from California to Texas. And the last part of the video, Musk's scandals so far. Let's talk about Elon's complicated personal life and finances. Finally, we cannot overlook the fact that Musk is a controversial character who has been through some difficult times in his personal life. After all, he went through a very public and lengthy divorce with his former wife, at which time he claimed he was depressed. As if that wasn't enough, Elon was nearly destitute again when the 2008 recession wiped out the profits of SpaceX and Tesla, forcing him to choose between the 2 companies. Elon ultimately opted to split any remaining funds between the two firms, and later that year he learned that NASA would be investing $6 billion in SpaceX. Needless to say, both firms weathered the storm, and Elon married for the second time only a few years later. Whatever your opinion of Elon Musk is, he continues to display an unwavering will to achieve. Despite the uncertainty and hesitation, he makes big decisions and follows through on them completely, right to the finish. This founder has been dubbed the real-life Tony Stark for his boldness, audacity, and tenacity. He's also been labeled as insane or obsessed with fame. In detail, recent events show him being investigated by the Securities and Exchange Commission, inflating his stock numbers to 420, causing a doobie on Joe Rogan's podcast, tweeting while on LSD, and causing a widely publicized scandal involving his musician girlfriend, Grimes, proposing a threesome at his mansion in Los Angeles. Despite the scandals, this founder may still teach us a lot, and we can respect his business passion. After all, he's built a number of multi-billion-dollar businesses. He is the millionaire Kanye West, the PayPal mafia's worst nightmare, Tesla's CEO, and the famed Elon Musk. Inside Elon Musk's tumultuous personal life, which has seen him divorced 3 times, romance Hollywood stars, and now have a 1-year-old child with artist Grimes. In a 2010 statement, Elon Musk said he would rather stick a fork in my hand than write about my personal life. But Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, is a fascinating personality who has spoken up about his childhood, parents, and relationships over the years. In November 2017, he spoke out about his separation from Amber Heard, expressing his sadness about their divorce. Musk also addressed his strained connection with his father, Errol, describing him as a terrible human being. Musk is now dating artist Grimes, with whom he announced his relationship in May 2018, having their first child together. To the newest recent event of the downfall of Bitcoin price, which directly related to this billionaire, Musk was blamed for being so strategic when his announcement of rejecting any transaction using the digital currency Bitcoin made the price of the most powerful coin significantly drop. And, of course, due to this movement of Elon Musk, people accuse him of spreading the news to force the price of Bitcoin to fall so that he could take over the trading force to buy the coin at a cheaper price. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And that's all about Elon Musk, his childhood, career, and scandals so far. Do you like Elon Musk? Or what do you like in the next video? Please let me know in the comments. If you like the video, make sure you're subscribed and ring that bell to be notified when we